All right. So here's the anniversary edition of Famitsu.
Are you gonna
The
screen share to
GBF game.
me?
Yeah, let's do it. This one is an interview with the producer and director. I still need to get around to translating that. I'll try this weekend, no promises. But um, one of the things that we talked about, like we mentioned it, is that uh, people were very suspicious of the increase in like users who voted on these things, and 780 of them skyrocketed Vania from 17th place in previous years to first place in this year. Um,
Like I said, they're really excited for Princess Connect.
uh, so one of the things is that like some people were thinking they always claim botting. I think the Japanese tend to brigade things, and so like that's how you. It's that whole phenomenon where hey, it's an online poll, people discover it, and that's how you get things like Bodie McBoatface or you know that we talk about this a lot where Tales of fans got together and decided to vote for Yuri Lowell so often in so many categories that don't matter. That he sorry, it's not that they don't matter. They voted for him in so many categories that he shouldn't have been eligible for.
What do you mean you can't win Best Little Brother?
That they just Hall of Famed him. They're like, look, you memers, we can't let Yuri Lowell get first place in everything. Into the Hall of Fame you go. Like GBF has done it for
Well, I think they stopped Hall of Faming him because I think both him and Judas are viable to choose. They just don't win.
but
People really like McLeo.
he took over. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. But so a few of these things you take with a grain of salt because it got brigaded or botted or whatever you want to call it. So Narmea had taken over for Vicky as most popular female character in the poll last year. This year, Vanya just vaulted up to first place by, and we call it like a 500 plus vote margin. So, in a few things, we'll just be like, all right, let's pretend that 500 people were taken off of the top and see if that changes anything. That said, let's go back to the front. Um, the like favorite job, favorite class, like Relic Buster was number one for 3 straight years. Now that people have had time to play with Mana Diver, it's number one for very obvious reasons. Kengo number three. All it's like the
Who's
Kengo's an unmoving one.
surprised?
Yeah, like the
Like literally, I had someone on Twitter the other day was like getting back into GBF.
mhm.
They were looking at it class wise, and I'm like, okay, just unlock Mana Diver immediately.
Unlock Mana Diver immediately. Continue playing Kengo. Relic Buster is free and strong. Um, so this one, the one on the top right here, it is element-based MVP, and
I just see the giant picture of Percival.
29,000, 2,900, sorry, 2,900, and
That's not
which
surprising. We all see the meme picture.
yeah, but it's 6 times the person in second place. It's like, um, we were
Yeah,
talking
because he's
last
more
week.
reported than her.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week where it was like 13,000 years of Percival. It's like
he
okay,
he his attack out turn with Chaser is like it has like no real cost.
hmm
He can make it so the boss doesn't do damage that turn unless they do plain damage.
he just swinging.
And when he swings, he sometimes just debuffs the boss.
Yeah. Um, Paella over Hasalia for MVP in water by a significantly smaller margin, 2,000 to 1,400 essentially.
To be fair, hers doesn't require you to actually do anything to get her. You just
hmm
have to roll her.
Yeah. Um, Summer Raziel as MVP over Olivia by a much smaller margin. It was 200 votes, well, 130 votes essentially. Um, with I like that Satyr is still a strong candidate for MVP for Earth with that 370 votes right there.
Yeah, like also like her and Olivia are like are just easy to roll for.
hmm Yeah.
And well, Seder was definitely the MVP for last United Fight for Earth.
Yep. And then we yeah.
You CA, let's CA.
hmm MVP of win. So this is another one where the brigading came in. So Vania beats Galleon in Summer Galleon in win by like 500, which is the same margin that Vania beat Narmea by. So once again, take that specific one with a grain of salt. Um,
She easily dispels, very
yeah,
easily drains.
she's super strong. I
Like
like
Galleon, you actually still have to build around, and it takes up two of your slots.
yeah, and Narmea is still strong. There's nothing wrong with Narmea, like Grand Narmea. Um, but yeah, it was the whole thing where we were looking at the first page and we're like, yeah, this makes sense. And then over the rest of the survey picture, then we're like, okay, we're gonna have to start like considering a few things differently. Light MVP. So Horace got in over Nehan and Lucio. Nehan and Lucio were very close, and they often don't work together. They do very different
They
jobs.
do nothing the same.
Yeah, like Lucio is for long, grindy fights. Nehan, you have to. Um, it's like he has a long fight version, but you have to play him much differently in that mode, and it's like so that's pretty interesting that the way they got in there. And then number 5 for light was
Event
Sandalphon,
Xenophon.
but it was event Sandalphon. It's like
I mean, he's
okay,
free,
he is free.
so
It is funny to me. And then Dark MVP Orolojaya beating out 6, and then um, I did enjoy that Lich is still on that list. I was one of those 336 votes, I believe. Um, then let's see here. So out of the 6,200 people, 4,500 had all 5 um, Rise of the Beast characters, which does require a bit of like grind and investment. So, you know,
yeah, and luck because that was annoying when it first came out.
when it first came out for sure. But yeah, like that is the essentially like beginning parts. There's a few things about like how you got into GBF and things like that that I'll kind of gloss over because that this question's there every year and it didn't change that much. The main thing to note is that um, like 300 people who took the poll got into Granblue via the console games, so Relink and Versus. So you know
They work.
they worked as a funnel. Uh, favorite male character. So Sandalphon is the unquestioned king, 7 years in a row in this poll.
But
But
it's actually not by a large margin.
yeah, it's a very shrinking margin because 6 is only 15 votes behind, and 7 was only 40 votes behind. And so, like, I've talked, whenever we go over this, I talk about how it's like, um, the girls, there are a lot more of them with a lot more flat popularity, and then the guys are like multiple monoliths and a much smaller number of them. Um, but I'm a big fan of Dad Orolojaya being on this list over here. Um, the Albert one might come with in a question mark or an asterisk because he is a popular character. He's been on the top like 20 and 30 for this multiple times for Albert. But, you know, there's a few things that makes it look like people who came in from Rage of Bahamut just like came in and added him to their vote. So I don't know. I don't know like how much you can fully trust the Albert. But then again, whenever they do Albert Urias stuff at cafes and merchandise and stuff like that, people come out, people buy that. So
I like Biryu-San.
indeed. Anything else to note on like favorite male, favorite female characters? These are
No,
pretty stable, other than the Vania.
it's no as normal. Other than that,
Yeah,
Razio is it number 6.
yeah.
That
She
character's too popular for her own good.
I like that character. A lot of us like that character, but because of where I am and what people point in my direction on social media, I do see that there are a vocal small number of people who are tired of seeing her in like more seasons and seasonal stories.
Oh,
It's
I'm
like,
definitely one of them. I just don't say it out loud.
yeah, it's like I like the character, but yeah, maybe she is a little overexposed. We'll see what happens. They were they gave her one of the April Fool's outfits. It's like her, Ewiar, and Nier. But yeah. All right, we move along. So, favorite Divine General 1 and 2 were not a surprise. I do like that Chicken is still strong in people's minds. Like, the difference between third place and fourth place was, less than a percent. Well, it's about 1% ish. But anyway,
Yeah,
uh,
Mickey number one is not surprising to anybody.
Dragon number 2 is a little bit surprising, but not overly surprising. Um, and then,
The
oh,
world's tallest giraffe, female,
yes.
female born.
Hmm. And
It's
then,
like she's
yeah.
so huge. It's like what the heck?
It was like this seems like an error, right? It's like maybe they measure to the top of the horns or something? Question mark? I don't know.
And then when you look at the comparison, it's like no, she's actually
No.
that tall.
Yeah. um yeah, so question 11 here, who do you want to sing a character song? Uh with the Vania Brigade um like discounted a little bit, then Raziel, Belial, or a Lajaya duet sounds like it'd be very fun, honestly.
Well, Lyle already has his own songs.
Sung by Kobayashi Taro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people who want Belial to sing want Belial to sing because it's Hossein. P.S. Congratulations, Hossein, on your recent marriage. Um, yeah, we.
Well, I'm scared what Lobelia's song would be like.
So am I. I
At
don't.
least with Lyle, he's just trying to have sex
Lovelia is even freakier. Like there's sex in there somewhere, but
and screaming
yeah,
and sounds that should not be ever be made by a person.
yeah. I would also enjoy the Primal Pal song, like that one. Uh, the the
We already have a rock band. We could just do it.
yeah. The Divine Generals one has a little asterisk on it. It's like I want all of them there instead of the like I think it was 6 or 7 of them who were in the existing one.
I just remember Tigers weren't there
Yeah,
because of the CDs cover.
yeah,
As I think it's like yeah, three of them are missing.
yeah. And now there's more of them than the last time that we did this. So and then we'll have a horse.
Yeah, I like Iki singing. I'll be okay with that.
Hmm. All right, Six and Nehan having a duet would be fun. It would feed a lot of people's ships. Their ships would sail. I don't know how much I would enjoy a society song, honestly.
Let's see here. Who's in society? I like them solo better.
Yeah, Hanakana, Sonozaki, Mie,
Mie.
yeah, uh, Tatsuki Fumihiko, who mostly has spent his career growling, and
Well, you've seen Hype Mike.
fair enough. Um, and then here's question 13. What was your favorite story event of 2024? Heart of the Sun, way at the top. Like Fenny really stole a lot of people's hearts in Heart of the Sun, and people actually like. It's been a theme for a while of just like doomed ancient romances in GBF like events. So it's like Farhana and Abramelin. We had Sankara and Svaha. Uh, we had like Sandalfon and Lucifer. Like they just like flashing back to having tragic romances.
Yeah,
Um,
just the only issue is that I have to wait like so many weeks that I lost interest in reading. That's the issue I had with this current event too.
mhm.
Not this current event. The last
The
anniversary
Divine
event is
General's
like
romance.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. That's why like I've talked to you about this before, where Princess Connect's story. It's like I don't want to wait a full month for each trickle. so I'd just like to watch the whole thing as if it was a completed story. So yeah, I feel you on that one. Back to the pad, number two. Conquest of the Dark Singularity being number three makes me smile.
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Slash to Sever Bonds and Last Sumo Warrior in positions four and five. Um,
I like the ninja event.
I personally liked it, but I didn't think it was one of my top of the year. Uh, so once again, you just look at the Vania Brigade and you go, okay, sure. You keep going down. It's like Seophon is a star of his own event, because well, uh, his turn as a featured character in what was it called? Seeds of Redemption. It's like he kind of wasted that opportunity. You actually ended up not liking him in that one.
He fought Walfried. That was it. That was all that happened.
Yeah, and
Why?
also like,
Good question. I cannot really tell you the answer because it was pointless.
and Fief got hurt because of him, and so everybody else resented him for the rest of the fight, or for the rest of the whole thing. I mean, uh,
That See the Redemption was one of those things. Is like you could just wrote the third part.
yeah, the third part was clearly better than everything else in Seeds of
This
Redemption.
is this goes back to the issues I have with anniversary events.
hmm But yeah, speaking of that, so people want Sandalphon as the star of an event, but with an asterisk. They they want a different, like they want that kind of event that they've done for like Magnificent Mole Troop, but for him, which I think would go pretty well. Like it would be something like so one comment is I want people to be at primals who don't have a sense of purpose anymore to go to Cafe Millennia and get like career counseling on what to do next.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
That would be fun, like his own version of No Rain No Rainbow. Another option is like him and Raziel buddy comedy kind of thing, where he just tries to keep Raziel out of trouble. Um, yeah, Raziel number four. Like people basically, as many people wanted a Sandalphon event as a Raziel event, and then my favorite part of this, more years of people going, when's Walder and Jade coming back? Uh, Narme,
Yeah,
yeah,
instead of
see,
fighting that stupid event boss because it auto dies.
uh-huh. Yeah, it says here like my favorite thing about this is so over here the comments essentially 80% of the people who voted Walder, so about 60 people said I want a sequel to Ranger Sign Bravo. The other 20% basically said the same thing, but they don't need it to be an event. So like I just want to see him and Jade as a team again. It's
Yeah, I
like
see that.
I approve. Uh, I am curious about the people who submitted Shalem as their star of an event. I do wonder like what tone they would strike for a Shalem event.
Yeah, it's a very good question considering that character's personality.
Yeah, and also there's just a lot of blanks in her history very very intentionally. Like Lucio, um, the way they explain him is just he's been hiding out most of his existence, just like watching. Shalem, we don't know. She was in a box for thousands of years.
I'm baby.
I'm baby. Um, so once again, they came in and they said we want Vania to get an outfit. How would they do an Oral Ajaya outfit, DJ? Like, how would you want that in a way that
Two
is like
versions.
fun? Just so one outfit, two versions.
Yeah,
Okay,
one for male, one for female.
yeah, fair enough. Uh, the Sidala one is we want one that isn't a meme.
I Yes, please.
And also the other one was we
Like,
want Super Sidala, which, is still valid even after they released Super Sidala because you cannot
yeah,
use that as
sounds
an outfit.
good.
Yeah. So I do want the Sidala to get one that isn't just like pajamas or what is it? Sleeping bags with holes poked in them.
Yeah, pajamas.
Yeah, pajamas. Um, and then let's see here. Granagito very high up there. Um,
We don't need
Raziel
the
again.
Granagita. We have a billion Granagita skins. Come on, guys.
Arulumea, like the getting as many votes as Raziel is also like one of those things in there. There's a bunch, there's a big clump right around sixth place where we want an outfit for Sandalphon. We want
He has already one. Hold on, there's a billion characters who don't have
yeah,
outfits.
Arulu for example would be a good candidate on here. Six. What we've gotten out of this is that a lot of people are greedy. Because
Yes, my characters do not have outfits.
yeah.
Excuse me, one of mine has a island rail.
And the new not the years the April Fool's one where she's a like bomber plane.
Yeah, and my favorite thing is that there's an attack that comes out and 0 damage
Hmm.
for both all three versions of this character.
Yeah, it is weird. And it also broke the game once. That was a
Correct.
fun like couple
I
days.
don't even know how you even program that.
I really don't know. And then so here's one of the last questions to go through, which is who do you want to be playable? And so the Lucifer people, of course,
Let's
sure.
go, Maggie.
Yeah. Number 2 is Maggie. Let's go. She was
I'm
also
pretty sure
in
out of this list that Landmark's coming out. Yeah, earlier than any of these characters.
Pommern making number 6 was actually made like kind of not necessarily a reality, but a stronger possibility with the latest event also. So people are hoping that in the middle of the month he gets a character.
He has his own manga.
He had young Pommern was kind of a cutie. Yeah. But yeah, then you look and you're
Let's see
like,
here. Like it makes sense.
it does make sense. The twin elements people are like they must have been the same people who voted up Albert and Vania, because I don't think the twin elements have actually been on this list ever before.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. That said, Lamorak is a staple on this. Like Osaka Ryota has said for like a good 4 or 5 years, like, "Where's Lamorak? Give him to me." But yeah, Let's go, Maggie. I need Maggie. Like I need lunch tomorrow, essentially. Um, and then yeah, so those were the poll stats. Um, Next year will be very very interesting to see if they do any like anti-brigading measures or something like that, or if just
That'll be too much effort.
it's true. Yeah,
It's literally anyone who has the ability to click on a website can do it.
yeah, and also like people will get together on various forum sites and social media circles and things like that and just say, all right, everybody, wouldn't it be funny if dot dot dot.
Yeah, it would be funny if for the seventh Cinderella it was Donna.
That would. What if we just all voted Eve Santa Claus?
No, we have to wait for the 25th Cinderella or the 12th Cinderella. Actually, we're coming up on 12th. Actually,
um, the thing is that the Cinderella girl vote was based on the card game, and so they haven't run that since the card game closed down.
no,
They
we vote in. I thought we voted in the mobile game.
you vote in the mobile game. That was for stage for Cinderella or something like that. That was for people to get songs together and then like a mega song in the end. They they haven't done that since either. It's been like a year and a half to 2 years since they did that. Maybe they'll do it again. I don't know, but it took them like a full year to actually get to everything, through everything. So anyway, so those were the Famitsu poll numbers for this year. This is always a fun thing. Like I like seeing these snapshots of nice slice of the community. Like even though I'm not a shiny colors player, I do enjoy just looking and seeing like, hey, this is what people liked in shiny colors. This is what people liked in all sorts of other games that I don't necessarily play, but I like seeing where sentiment is. It's what I do. It's literally what I do. That's my job.
I'm now looking at Dream Unit Battle, like number one ranking of round two of 2022, Blue Napoleon. Anyways,
Yeah. All right. So that is it for Granblue Radio for this week. Thank you, DJ. Um, how's your sleep schedule? You said you're a little sick, but does that make your sleep schedule better or worse?
it sucks.
Oof. Yeah, I think I've told you this before, where when I'm sick, it actually makes my sleep schedule better because I sleep longer. But anyway, that said, thanks for joining me.